I'm going to dive into all this, but accusing me of taking steroids is wild, bro.
I didn't say you're on testosterone. Does bro look like he's on testosterone? There are girls who are more alpha than this with testosterone levels 20 times lower than yours. Coach Greg, in today's video, a fake natty exposes himself. The newest fake natty goes by the name of Brandon Raw, also Santa Cruz Medicinals. I have nothing against this guy. I've talked to him in private in the past, and I like his channel. Only he decides to post his blood work, but only shows his testosterone.
Guys, I got some lab work back. I'm at 1,000 nanograms per deciliter in testosterone. I am alpha. I am alpha because I hang out with alpha stripper. Yeah, that's a bad call. Yeah, guys, you know, I just talked to Bradley Martin on his podcast about like what maybe made go from 847 to 1,000. I think it's all the blue light shit. You have those circadian biology on.
Yeah.
Bro, at night I'm crazy at my house. Like we're gonna cook ourselves with these lights, but most nights I'm really good. And like I do the blue light blockers. And like the dude on our podcast even said he puts on like long sleeve and sweatshirts at night because like the photoreceptors.
No, that's real. In the morning I try to get as many clothes off as I can.
Yeah, then I get out in the sun in the morning and we get on stripper poles.
Yeah, he's trying to be funny, alpha. I get it. But notice how his original blood work showed his testosterone levels were in the 800s. FYI, it's higher than mine and I'm on HRT. And so like any good Samaritan, I write a comment and say, you're a very smart man. You must know that just showing your testosterone levels doesn't prove that you're natural. I have lower testosterone levels than you. And if I show only my testosterone levels, you might think that I'm natural. They're at 830. Remember, you can go to AlgaRx. You can use code Greg for 10% off. You get your blood work done. You can get prescribed enclomiphene, testosterone, Cialis, Viagra, telmisartan, peptides. The list goes on and on, but that's besides the point. I was teaching you how to know when somebody's a fake natty or not. And so I had no proof. I simply was asking for the extra blood work in order to show this, because oftentimes if people leave things out, LH, FSH, estradiol, the list goes on and on, they might be trying to leave something out. When I saw he went from in the 800s, which is already very high, and he's a young, athletic, fit man, and it suddenly jumped up to over 1,000, what was screaming at me was that bro is on enclomiphene, but rather than that, he says it's the blue light. It's the blue lights. I mean, not to mention the fact that his SHBG was already over 70, that it's extremely high. My opinion, I was 99% sure that he was on enclomiphene, but I needed the rest of the blood work to back that shit up. And so what does he do? Well, instead of taking the video down or instead of just posting the blood work, he makes a video and gaslights me. He says, Greg said I'm on steroids, that I'm on testosterone. I said no such things, specifically enclomiphene. Enclomiphene is not testosterone and it's not a steroid. And so essentially he's lying about what I said in order to make him look innocent. I stick with what I'm saying. When somebody shows one part of a test and not the other, they're usually covering for something. And so when testosterone goes from being very high to very, very high without showing anything, it's most likely they're taking enclomiphene. And of course they could be taking testosterone and things like that, but most likely it's enclomiphene. And so if you're actually trying to show that you're natural and brag about how your testosterone levels are high, and by the way, it's not a flex to have higher levels of testosterone because you're not even showing your free testosterone, you got to show everything. If you're trying to prove natty status, you got to show the rest of the blood work markers so that other people like me can look at it and say, yeah, it actually shows that you're natural. And so why waste? And by the way, it's not too late to take the video down or to re-upload it and show the rest of the blood work. And so notice how I said martyr. I believe he's being a martyr for other fake natties because he's going to be going down for this. Let us show the actual blood work. You remember I said, why not show the LH and FSH to give us an idea? Because remember, if it's very, very low, bro's probably on testosterone, which is not what I suspected. I suspected enclomiphene. How many of you agree with me? Does bro look like he's on test? Does he look like he's on steroids? He looks natural. And so what would be the likely cause of his blood work having testosterone levels of over 1,000 when they were already very high, over 800 suddenly? Was it more likely blocking blue light, getting up and looking at the sunshine in the morning? What is he, the liver king? Or enclomiphene? I mean, when Andrew Eubanks, Alex, when he showed his testosterone levels in the 900s suddenly, and I said it's enclomiphene, y'all looked at me and said, oh, how do you know? The blood work shows it. And so what are we going to see in his blood work? Are we going to see perfect blood work, LH and FSH of that of somebody normal? Or will something be out of range?
Man, I woke up this morning to Greg Doucette, someone I always have admired, calling me a fake natty.
If I pause it right there, should you not take that as a compliment? I mean, if he was actually natural, he should take it as a compliment. I mean, what would Hussein Farhat do? Oh, there's no way he's natural. Proceeds to show the blood work, proves that he's natural. What does Santa Cruz do? Oh, he can't handle it. Proceeds to show the blood work, proves he's not natural. You see the difference? Well, in your eyes, you're thinking, no, Hussein, you're lying. You're covering for him. Why would I do that? I look at the blood work. Hussein's natural. His blood work, not natural. Forget about the physiques. Just because Hussein has more muscle than Santa Cruz doesn't mean that Santa's natural.
And he's like, show your LH and FSH.
Immediately, do you see that there's the LH in the red? Out of range. Supra-physiological. Too high. Why do you think that is? Do you not think that the enclomiphene maybe, just maybe, caused it to go too high in a healthy young male with a lot of muscle? Why would it appear to be this way?
Oh, it's overtraining. It's doing this. It's doing that.
And FYI, the FSH 11.9, the top end of the range is 12.8. That is still very high, although it's not ridiculously high. It's still very high. If you look at these two numbers together as a whole, it paints the picture that bro is using enclomiphene. It's as simple as that. Now, there is a second possibility, although rare. He may in fact be ovulating, but last I checked, bro is actually a man, not a woman. And so unless he's somehow bi, gender, ordinary, whatever the terms you can say, I don't think he's a woman.
Like I make a joke video because I know there's way more to blood work than just that number. But I'm like, this is cool. And then I get more results in throughout the day, and I'm like, oh man, my SHBG is a little high.
With this next post, SHBG, you see that red square where it says 54? That's high. And you know what can cause SHBG to be high? Well, enclomiphene increases estradiol. Estradiol raises SHBG, and these are the results. Now, one thing I notice is he's typically on a paleo diet. He's a diet lower in carbs. That can increase SHBG, but when you're on this low-carb diet, you typically would see a decline in testosterone levels, and so that wouldn't explain it. And so if you guys are out there sitting there thinking, oh, Coach Greg doesn't know what he's saying, oh, he's probably just athletic, he's probably overtrained, he's on a low-carb diet. None of that explains this in unison. In the totality of his blood work, that's what paints the story. The story being he isn't natural, that he's taking enclomiphene. Or you can just believe him and think it's the blue light. Whatever you want. Remember when Joel from TNF, he did that experiment where he had the very low protein diet, he was eating more carbs? Notice his testosterone levels went through the roof, well over 1,000. If you're going to put this on his diet or his training, what you're going to notice is a decline in his free testosterone, and that did not occur.
My free test is pretty good, solid, but I think I could improve on it.
Another thing he could be showing is his IGF-1 levels. If that were below the 50th percentile, say he's at the 40th percentile, that would further support the use of enclomiphene. Now, what if it came back through the roof? Would that say he's not on enclomiphene? Well, actually, no, because he could be on enclomiphene, which lowers his IGF-1 levels, but at the same time be taking IGF-1. And so when you look at blood work, it's not some simple simple little tasks. You look at one marker and you make a conclusion. It's based on the bones. It's all
Based on the bones.
And so what I'd further like to see is his level of estradiol. If it's through the roof, really, really high, most likely he's taking enclomiphene. And so you can see every picture matters.
This is the thing, Greg. I've never taken a steroid a day in my life. I've never taken TRT.
Did I say he took a steroid? Did I say he took HRT? Or did I very specifically say enclomiphene? And so let's not gaslight me.
I'm somebody who's like, oh, like, I need to work on some things. I obviously have some stuff in my blood work that I need to improve on a little bit.
Consider this. This is not the blood work of somebody that needs to start optimizing things. There's nothing bad here. There's nothing per se that's ruining your life. You analyze your physique. Are you healthy? Do you feel good? Do you look good? Do you perform well? Clearly, you're doing jiu-jitsu, you have energy, you're looking amazing. And so why would you need to try to optimize in the first place? You're already optimal. Your testosterone levels were in the 800s. Never needed to use enclomiphene. Try to remember this. Don't fix what ain't broke. There's no reason to start using radical interventions because most likely they can make things end up worse.
Sometimes, man, like I deal with my own stress and issues and anxiety by training.
Appeal to sympathy. Wah. I train too much because of my anxiety. And so then, oh, Coach Greg's a hater. He has anxiety. He needs to do all kinds of cardio or he's not healthy. I raced 79 kilometers yesterday. I'm in an 8-day stage race, training every single day. And anxiety, no anxiety. Everyone has anxiety. And so stop making up excuses in order to say that I'm wrong about this analysis. You're the one that posted your testosterone. You're the one who bragged. You're the one that said, I'm alpha. And the commenters are, oh, Greg got it wrong. How did it age now, guys? And how alpha is it, really, to say, oh, I have anxiety and I need to do cardio to reduce my anxiety. And, oh, poor big bag wolf Coach Greg, he made a video about me. That doesn't sound very alpha. And so, again, proof that the level of testosterone that you have does not make you alpha or beta. There are girls who are more alpha than this with testosterone levels 20 times lower than yours. I'm just imagining our ancestors 4,000 years ago.
Oh, you know, I'm having some anxiety today. I can't go out and hunt a bear. Sorry, wife and kids, you're going to starve.
What do you mean you have anxiety? You're going to go out and hunt that bear. I don't care if it kills you. And so, guys, stop it already. It's 2025. We need to actually be men.
Whether it be, on the assault bike, whether it be at jiu-jitsu, and I get a bit overtrained and I need to improve on bouncing that and probably optimizing more sleep.
I'm so alpha, I'm going to go and train and get my blue belt in jiu-jitsu so that I can choke out people because I have anxiety and I need to get more sleep and I need to make sure that I don't have any blue light on my face and body at night and suntan my ball sack in order to get more testosterone levels. Can we not just live our lives?
I'm going to dive into all this, but accusing me of taking steroids is wild, bro.
I didn't say you're on testosterone. Does bro look like he's on testosterone? If bro was on testosterone, even if he had no muscle, his LH and FSH would be in the toilet just like mine because I'm on HRT. I know what HRT blood work looks like.
I don't know, man. I'm really open with all this stuff, and I probably will get on TRT or roids when I'm older.
That sounds like the mindset of somebody who would be willing to use enclomiphene right now. I mean, do you not remember Alex Eubank? How did he first start? I made a video, likely on enclomiphene, testosterone levels suddenly in the 900s. What happened a few months later? Bro's on HRT. Exhibit B.
But I have never done that stuff at all. And my body is so normal. I'm not on any roids. I'm not. And I'm not gonna go like the Liver King method and lie to people ever.
So the thing with lying is it's not black or white. There's withholding the truth, withholding the evidence. You never lied. You said, look at my testosterone levels, 1,007. I'm alpha. You never said you were natural. You just posted your blood work, but you failed to post the entirety of the blood work. And by proxy, people are looking at that and thinking, oh, bro just has naturally elevated testosterone levels, from the blue light. And so what does then people do? They start purchasing these blue light blockers and so on, when the real reality of it is to get testosterone levels like this when you're in the 800s, probably going to need enclomiphene, of which you can get at Algo RX. I never said there's anything wrong with what you're doing. I just don't like the withholding of the truth. And so you never lied. You just never told the entire story. It would be like if I made a video and said, hey guys, I'm on 140 milligrams of testosterone a week. Look what it's done. Check out the biceps. And I don't tell you that I'm on insulin, growth hormone, IGF-1, and the list goes on and on. If that were actually true, am I being honest? Am I being honest with you? I'm on 140 milligrams of test a week. That part's honest. But if I withhold everything else that I'm taking, then that's not being honest. And guess what? I'm not taking those other things. And so that is a person who's being honest. If I started to take, for example, retatrutide, terzipatide, Ozempic, various drugs to help suppress my appetite in order to stay this lean, and I don't tell you about it, and I say I'm only on 140 milligrams of test a week, that to me would be dishonest. It wouldn't be lying per se, but it would be withholding information, which is what you did. And so I'm not taking any of these things. And if I were, I would just simply tell you. And so if Santa Cruz were to be more honest, he could say, hey guys, look, my testosterone levels went up. I purchased enclomiphene in low doses and I'm feeling amazing. Here's my total blood work. You see how my LH and FSH is a little bit higher? That's from the enclomiphene. Notice my SHBG, it's out of the range. I'm working on that. I'm going to perhaps start eating more carbs and stop being on moronic diets for cardiovascular athletes. And it would get better. And perhaps your free testosterone, the testosterone you're actually going to use, would be higher than 100. And so the reason why enclomiphene is beneficial for guys like Santa Cruz is because he has a diet-induced suppression of his testosterone levels because his glycogen stores are too low. Bro is doing a lot of cardio, which is great. I encourage it. There's nothing wrong with this. I do a lot of cardio. We don't have to get into gaslighting and saying that somebody said this or said that. Bro is doing a lot of cardio. He's not eating enough carbs. He has a certain diet that he likes, and using enclomiphene is going to help his testosterone levels. And so in case you're wondering, when your glycogen levels are depleted, so for example, after a 2-hour bike race, your cortisol is going to spike, which can result in lower levels of testosterone. I don't have to worry about that because I'm on HRT. If I was on enclomiphene, also, it solves that problem. Now, I'm not telling you to take enclomiphene. I'm not telling you to go on HRT. But if you do think that you need it, your doctor thinks you need it, you can go to AlgRx, get your blood work taken, and the doctors will go over it and prescribe to you without gatekeeping at a much cheaper price than other people. For example, Merrick Health, you do the shopping around. And so if you're needing any of these things, remember to use code Greg for 10% off.
I will tell y'all because people don't give a shit. It's 2026.
And so, yeah, I agree with you. I don't give a shit. No one gives a shit. I don't need to drug test you at any time. You're not Hussein Farhat. No one thinks you're on testosterone. The people who are smart and look at your blood work think you're on enclomiphene. That is all.
Now I got to bring down that SHBG a little bit. Maybe dial back some of the long days of cardio where I do like 2 or 3 things. I love doing days where I go to jiu-jitsu, I surf, and then sometimes, bro, honestly, like the days where I'm like stressed, I'll like get on the assault bike, and that's way too much in one day.
I like how these guys claim to do so much cardio. Do they all realize that I literally have a bike team? It's called Harder Than Last Time. And so some guys, for example, on this team, they're riding for 6 hours doing 300 watts. And that is about 1,000 calories per hour. They're burning off 6,000 calories in a day. I was just talking to Hayden Pucker. He's actually an HTLT athlete, and he goes by the name Farm Watts, as in he can farm a lot of watts. He's one of 2 people in the entire world who can do 500 watts for an hour. I can do 500 watts for at most 3 minutes. He's doing it for an hour. So this morning, he decides to ride 45 kilometers up a 10% hill on Zwift. It only takes him an hour and 45 minutes. It would take me about 3 hours. And after that, for fun, doing some cardio, he's riding 100 miles. That's 161 kilometers. After riding for 2 hours, another 100 miles, and then said, is there something you want me to do in the afternoon? Hey, can I ride with you later? After riding all friggin' morning, perhaps 5-6 hours at very high intensities, I said, how do you fuel your body? Well, during the ride, I consumed 721 grams of sugar. They're trying to find ways to eat enough calories. These are actual cardiovascular athletes. I'm talking world class. And so showing up to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for an hour and going surfing isn't so hard on your body. Oh my God, you need performance-enhancing drugs. What is helping fuel the farm watts? GO2 Max. And you didn't believe me. And why is it that the best endurance athletes in the world, 500 watts for an hour, are you kidding me? Why are they choosing to use HGLT supplements and GO2 Max when they can choose anything from any company? They choose this because it works. And so if you're interested in GO2 Max, Turk Builder Max, Turk Platinum, code Greg 15% off. Click the link in the description. Or of course you can use Farm Watts. And FYI, we got a new supplement in the works, Natty in Clomiphene. I can't wait to release this. It's going to shock the world more so than Turkesterone. And so look out for it. We're several months away. And until next time, I am out.